Yeah. Look. When my skin hit the spotlight.
First off, CJ, welcome to the Rise in Silence podcast, man. Obviously, you're my brother. You had to be the first guest we had on. So for me, this is special for sure. Just want to introduce you to all the viewers. So this is my boy CJ Hart. We played together at the University of Illinois. Starting linebacker, phenomenal dude, has an amazing story. So just super excited to have you here, bro, to be honest with you. So yeah, man, just, is there anything you want to say right now before we get started?
Man, I appreciate you, dude. I mean, you're doing some big things, dog. So I just want to give you your flowers. I've watched you throughout the season. I watched you grow. Man, I just want to say I'm proud of you, dog. I'm happy to be here.
Appreciate it. So first off, we got to talk about my niece. So this beautiful, 5 months, it's just amazing. So obviously you became a father recently. How's that transition being a young father? Obviously I'm a dad as well, so I know, but just hear from your perspective, how is that?
Man, honestly, bro, I thought it was gonna be way harder than what it is. To the people that are single parents, I give them so much credit.
Yeah.
Because you definitely could not. I couldn't do it by myself.
For sure.
But having the support system that I have, has just made it so much easier. So it's giving me the opportunity to just love her, take care of her, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, balancing my schedule. But honestly, all it's done is just help me concentrate even more, on the things that are important. But she's my everything, bro. She's so beautiful, so smart already.
Yeah, she is.
And say she's 5 months, you know what I'm saying? And she moving around a little bit, starting to crawl. You know how that. Yeah. How them moments is. You can't get them back. So man, I just try not to take any moments for granted, and just love her.
Yeah, for sure. And I know football. You know what I'm saying? You play football dads. We like, can't wait to have a son. But how was it seeing that? You know what I mean? You having a little girl first, and then when she actually got here, what was that feeling like for you?
I'll tell you what, man. She wasn't due to October. You know what I'm saying? And she came in September, so I already had a plan. What game I was gonna possibly miss, or how I was gonna be able to fly out after the game and do that. But shoot, it didn't work out, man. God had a different plan, and she came on my birthday, bro. For her to come on my birthday, you feel me? It was just completely unexpected. So she's my birthday twin. You know what I'm saying? She's a Virgo like me, even though I don't even believe in all that. But she's Virgo. Yeah. My girl always say that. So it's a blessing, man. And there ain't nothing like seeing it too. Seeing it happen, it's a surreal feeling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
Can't put no words on it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
There's something special about it, man, for real.
It ain't nothing but a gift from God. Yeah. You seeing somebody create a whole human. You don't know about, you can talk about it, but once you see it, totally different perspective.
Totally different. And it make you appreciate women more, you know what I mean?
1,000%.
Especially now you got, you got two women in your life. You got, really more than that. You talk about your mama, your sisters, but, especially with Jazz and Lonnie, you got two beautiful women in your life that for the rest of your life, they're yours, so.
1,000%.
I'm excited for you on that front, bro, to be honest with you. We're going to transition a little bit, though, because obviously now the little one's getting to watch you play ball. Yeah. So just how did you even get started playing football? What was that, what was that thing that made CJ want to become, little CJ become a football player,
What I am today, man, I tell you, my dad wanted me to play golf, bro.
When did you play golf?
My dad wanted me to play golf, bro.
I could have never guessed that.
You know what I'm saying?
Knowing your dad, I never could have guessed that.
He was a ball player growing up. Somehow he fell in love with golf. Man from the hood turned to this great man, right? So teach me how to play golf. I was good though. I was playing. It just started getting boring. You know what I'm saying? And then one time, we was in recess, right? Probably first grade, second grade, and I was best friends. My best friend name was Keyshawn. He the one that got me into playing football. So we throwing the football around, and I think we were the fifth graders, right? So we with the older kids and we playing football. I ain't never really played football on nobody. I ain't watching or nothing. And they threw me the ball and we was playing tackle. And when I tell you nobody could tackle me, and I ain't never had a feeling like that again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the sport for me. And I'm talking trash to the big kids. They can't tackle me or nothing like that. And ever since then, I was like, Mom, we gotta start playing football. So like me and my friend, we literally brought the papers to my mom, got him to sign it. Like I was the one pushing them. They didn't want me to play. I was pushing them to let me play. And that's how I started, man. I started when I was like 7.
That's crazy. That's awesome though. That's awesome. So just from that transition, you start playing at 7. Mm-hmm. What was those years like? Obviously, that's a big development period from that point to now. You know, what was that like? That in between time.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was. I loved the game so much as a child that like I feel like, man, I had so much discipline as a kid that looking back at it now, like it's kind of like unusual. I feel like I was always way bigger than everybody, like oversized, and I could never make weight. So when I was 7, I wanted to play with my best friends. It was a 75-pound weight. I was weighing 90 pounds. I had to play with the big kids. Yeah. So my first year playing football, I couldn't even play with my homies. Had to play with some big ass kids. So, man, that was the first adjustment. I'm thinking I'm gonna play running back. They had me on O-line and D-line. You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing O-line, D-line. But bro, I had so much fun. We used to lose every game though. We lose every game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man. Anyway, next year go by, I'm gonna make weight. So when I tell you, bro, I would literally, as a kid, try to eat healthy. Attempt peanut butter jelly sandwiches. You like attempt to eat healthy, right?
Yeah.
But before the game, I would put a trash bag on, put a sweater on, hoodies, multiple sweatpants, and I would run laps until I made weight. And then I go run to the field, check my weight. If I wasn't down, I go sit in the car with the trash bag on, just sweat, and then go play in the game. No Pedialyte. You imagine doing something like that right now, bro. Like,
yeah, you lock up, bro.
Just looking back, like as a kid, having that kind of energy to do that, sustain it, then go play a whole football game, call it a day in South Florida Heat. You know, it was a time, man. It was a time that, you know, it's honestly it helped make me to who I am today. And I wouldn't have been able to do it too without my parents though. They was always there supporting me, backing me.
For sure. So in those years, obviously, you know, one, this podcast is about really those people that have overcome adversity in pursuit of their dreams, you know, and I feel like you've consistently done that since I've known you. But obviously, you had a whole life before me. So talking about those years, you know, as a kid, as you growing up, that's, you know, trying to make weight, overcome that adversity, trying to make weight so you continue to play with your friends and do those things. When you get to high school, you know, I've looked at your stats and stuff. You know, you did a lot of good things in high school. But obviously, what adversity do you feel like you faced then that you had to overcome to get to the college level?
Humbleness. I'll tell you why, man. So I went to this school called Dade Christian. I was the man. Played running back, played linebacker, safety, defensive end, you name it. I was doing it. It was a school in Miami, Florida. And I was balling, bro. And like, I had like Clemson come talk to me, Miami, like it was top schools come talk to me as a freshman. I was 14, 15. Mm-hmm. So then my dad like, man, you doing too much. Like my body was hurting like terribly after the game. We're gonna get you American Heritage. So I ended up transferring to American Heritage my sophomore year. I ain't touched the field. I'm talking about, I'm touching the field at the end of the game. I'm shocked. Mm-hmm. But, dude, when I tell you this team was loaded, like, so many guys on that team in the league right now. So, that year, I ain't play. That next year, I'm like, nah, ain't no way. So, next year, I ended up starting, and that kind of was, like, that first interaction with adversity. Like, you got to work to get it. You not the best right now, but you can be. What you gonna do to get there? So that was my first time being able to get humbled and actually put the work in and see results. And that was kind of like that first bit of hunger I got and that first itch that like, man, this is sport I love. Let me go hard and do it. And then I started feeling like all my homies was getting offers, 4-star, 5-star. I had no offers, and no stars yet. I'm just now starting to start. So towards the end of my junior year, then I started getting offers. And this is like, man, all that doubting, all that talking I was doing with my dad, not thinking I was going to get it. He was always in my ear saying, it's coming, man. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. So I'll tell you, bro, I promise it was a time where I didn't think I was going to get no offers or nothing like that. And then it started flowing in, and it was good, great after that.
So in that time, obviously, I know you went to NC State first. What about NC State was like, oh, this is the school I need to go to? You know, from that, going from not knowing if you were going to have any offers to you getting all these offers, and you're like, NC State, this is the one I need to go to.
Man, honestly, NC State has some real good recruiters. I'll tell you that. And when I visited there, it was I felt a lot of love. You know, Raleigh was a nice city too. And at the time, I kind of felt like they represented who I was. Like, you know, the whole motto. I always wanted a wolf tattoo, and it was like a wolf. So I'm like, man, this might be something to it. And I always feel like an alpha male. So I was like, man, I'm gonna be the alpha here, and that was like the big thing there. So I'm like, I'm catching all these signs. And I was visiting. I was on a tour. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Texas A&M. I'm going to NC State. Texas A&M, I was more so planning on Texas A&M, but the whole coaching staff got fired. So they was on a hot seat, or they was in that process. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I went to Wake Forest, and then I went to NC State, and I was going to choose between them three. So I went to Texas A&M. It went good, but hot seat. Went to Wake Forest, terrible visit. Went to NC State, it was great. So I'm like, boom. And then that's when they started bringing that rule up with the early signing day. So then coach is like on me, like, you know, want you to sign early with the rule. So I ended up signing and committing.
Man, that's crazy. 'Cause, you know, thinking back, just like high school, I couldn't imagine, you know what I mean? Like, for me, my journey was a little bit different. So I couldn't imagine that feeling of like, got these opportunities, you go in there, and then you go to the school and it's just like everything's perfect. You know what I mean? And you like, yeah, this is where I want to go. So let's transition, talk about that more. You go to NC State. How was that you were there, what, 2 years? 2, 3 years?
3 years.
How was that 3 years?
I played 2 seasons. I ain't gonna lie, man. I had a lot of fun playing ball, you know, but you know, college, people don't really prepare you for I would say being alone, because I'm such a family oriented person, and kind of get into a dark place. And when football is your everything, and when it goes from you are the man at your high school to you just a guy, kind of, you know, it happened for me fast. And, you know, thinking that I was going to come in and play right away, and I didn't. It didn't register to me in the right way at the right time. So it was some dark days I had there, you know, but I ended up coming out of that and started focusing on things outside of football, which then led me to love football more. So then I started being able to balance what I had going on. So, you know, it's no hate or no nothing towards NC State. Even though I transferred, I learned a lot about myself. You know, I always got love for Wolfpack.
For sure. I love that, man, because, you know, you hear a lot of people that leave and they're bitter, and so I love the fact that you leave and it's still on, you know what I mean, good terms.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. I learned a lot from them. I learned a lot. They got a great strength coach over there.
For sure.
And Coach Dorn, he coached with Coach B.
For real?
Yeah, at Wisconsin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
he got connects all over the place, man.
All over the place, man. You know, Coach B, he's something special, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Special.
All right, so now, obviously, I met you when you came here. So just give the viewers a little bit of my introduction. CJ comes here, you know what I mean? We clicked pretty much after a few weeks. We ended up clicking because of you had the clothing brand at the time, one of the few.
One of the few.
Yeah,
so coming back up soon now.
So I saw him rocking it, and obviously I had the brand too. There was just instant connection there. You know what I mean? We started chopping it up, realized that it was more big. We both had thought bigger than football, you know?
Yeah.
But first game of the season comes, and this boy is balling out, talking about going crazy against Nebraska. You know, gets fumble recovery, scores a touchdown. Shortly after that, you end up tearing your ACL. Where were you at mentally in this time period of your life? Because for me, obviously, I saw you come, you know what I mean, knowing that you didn't really get as much PT at NC State as you wanted, and then you come here in the first game, you going crazy. Score, you get a touchdown, first touchdown in your career, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
First touchdown in your career, the crowd going crazy, we win the game, but you end up tearing your ACL, and it's like, you don't put all this work for this moment, and it's kind of like snatched from you, you know what I mean? Like, where were you at mentally in that time?
Man, I will tell you, man, I was all over the place. I mean, I was, oof. When I tell you, man, it was such a surreal feeling because it was happening so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And in the game, I'm like, oh, yeah, bro, this is easy. I'm eating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just easy. This the year we could get to that league. You know what I'm saying? Boom, fourth quarter. I ain't never got hurt. You know what I'm saying? I've never gotten surgery or nothing. So that was like my first real injury. And at the time, I didn't know the severity of it. So that I'm walking on it still. You know what I'm saying? JB told me, like, you might be out 6-7 weeks. I'm like, all right, it hurt, but I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, of course, my family's devastated. And then once I go in the locker room, everybody's celebrating. I can't even jump with the team. So I was just, you know, I cried that day. Following a couple of days later, went to the doctor hoping for good news. And when they said I was gonna be out for like 6 months, that crushed me. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It crushed me. And, you know, that was a hard time. That was definitely a hard time. Those first 2 months, coming off of surgery, and it's a hard time for sure.
So how did you mentally get through that? You know what I mean? Because obviously, football, you know what I mean? For college athletes, sports is your everything, you know?
For sure.
A lot of us don't realize that, you know what I mean, you're more than just an athlete. So in this time, you're going through this transition to something you ain't never faced before. It's a completely new adversity. And obviously, like you said, you was in that dark place. How'd you get yourself out of that dark place?
Man, first, man, I got to thank the man upstairs. I mean, I was praying, you know, just thanking God, waking me up, and, you know, thanking for the little things. And, you know, it was helping me be able to carry on with the other things that I had going on. So, and honestly, literally my mom, my dad flew up and stayed with me for like a month, month and a half, like made sure I was straight. And honestly, I tell you, like, if it wasn't for them, like being there, I don't know. You know, I don't know how they helped me so much during that time. I don't know where I would have been at. So that's why I give them so much credit, because, you know, I don't like to depend on anybody. You know, I like to work. And once you get to a point where you get yourself hurt like that, you can't really walk around like you used to. Getting up to pee is not the same. It's using the bathroom ain't the same. Like, all that was like, so it gets very aggravating. And sometimes you could be aggressive towards or be emotionally unstable to somebody that doesn't deserve it. So, you know, in the time where I was in a dark place, they kind of helped me get out of it. So mentally, you know, I was just trying to keep my spirits up. I was reading my Bible, playing a lot of Call of Duty. You know, Reek and Seth was my roommates at the time, so we used to gang up on Call of Duty. That helped me a lot. And honestly, being able to get in that facility with Coach Tank, because even though as soon as it was like a week or two after, I was right back doing rehab for my legs. So literally, that weight room that became my physical therapy. Like, that became my mental and my physical. I just be in there, even if I was just got done working out, just sitting there trying to do something. You know, it just made me feel like I'm doing something to help myself. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. In that time period, did you ever have any moments where you was like, man, like, I should just stop. I should just quit. And just, you know what I mean? Just like, I'm done with football. Did you ever have any of those moments in that time period?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
So you are, throughout the whole process, you, even though you had those doubts, you were like, no matter what, I'm gonna try to bounce back from this.
Yeah, man, cause like I had just got that feeling again.
Like when you were a kid.
You know what I'm saying? I just got that happiness back with the game. You know, college football, cause sometimes you can almost it's such a business. Sometimes you can almost take your happiness away from the game.
That's real.
And you stop really having fun with it the way you want. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And that was the first time getting back on the field, and I just felt like I was having fun. And for it to get snatched away from me, I was just like, it was God telling me this wasn't my time. Just wasn't my time. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. Honestly just made me better.
Mm-hmm.
As a person outside the field and on the field.
Now that goes. You actually just said something, and that takes me into my next question. We actually had a conversation about this recently.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean, bouncing back from that injury, having this season, and to me, you had a good season, but it wasn't the season that you wanted.
Uh-huh.
So, just like, where are you at right now mentally? You know, like talking about just the growth that you've experienced from all the adversity you face. You know what I mean, throughout your life, but especially in the last few years. Where are you at now mentally?
Man, it's been a journey, and I feel like I so many ways I can answer this question. So my mind's kind of going because there's so many good things going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so much to be thankful for. It's so much work I've put in, you know, to get to this. But I feel like taking care of your mental health is one of the most important things you can do in your life. And honestly, once I started doing some self-care work, like truly, you know, and honestly getting more in touch with my spiritual side, you know what I'm saying, getting more in touch with the Bible, it's giving me a reassurance of who I am, you know, and what I can be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? My dream of being an NFL player is still at arm's reach. I can still do that. You know what I'm saying? But being able to have that fulfillment from the work I put in, and being able to have that fulfillment from God Himself, ain't nothing like it. So it's been able to make me a better person, athlete, but yet a father and a brother and a son, ultimately. So, I mean, it's definitely been a journey, and I'm thankful for all the adversity I've been through. Man, I wouldn't go back and change anything.
Absolutely. Hey, I love that, bro. I love to hear that for real.
For sure.
All right, so let's say we're going to look into the future. We're not going to look too far into the future, but what do you look forward to in your future? I would say near future.
In my near future?
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know, I want to be making some good amount of money, but money ain't everything. Money don't buy you happiness, but I have to feel like it, you know.
It help out and relieve a little bit of stress, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But real talk, I've been trying truly to be where my feet is at, and I know that's a real blunt statement, but my motto has been, I'm excited for the future, but I'm happy for right now. So I can't really tell you exactly what I'm excited for or what's going to happen because I don't know the future, but I do know I'm happy for what I'm doing today. So whatever I do today could contribute to what I do tomorrow because tomorrow not promised.
Most definitely.
So I just go hard every day, you know, try to be the best person I am, you know, and just take away that negative energy and be good to people around me, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like whatever lies in the future should be a blessing.
Hey, I respect that, brother, for real. That's real. That's real. So just one more question. I gotta know if you could give any advice to anybody. Let's say young CJ. What would that advice be?
What would that advice be? I say pick your head up. Pick your head up, CJ. You can do it.
Most definitely.
Pick your head up, you can do it.
For sure.
For sure.
Dang. Well, CJ, bro, I appreciate you being on. Like I told you, bro, this is special because you're my brother. You know what I mean?
Real talk,
and I think, your story is going to be able to help a lot of other people, not just athletes, you know what I mean, but go beyond the game, because I think that's the beautiful part of sports, you know what I mean? A lot of the lessons we learn, we get a kind of a jump on a lot of other people because of the adversity you faced, whether it's on the field in the game, whether it's, you know what I mean, like you talked about, going from being the man to, you know what I mean, you're essentially a nobody for a little while. You have to figure out who you are again, you know, and really, like, build yourself up. So, you know, first off, I commend you for not quitting in none of those things, because thank God I never had to go through having a surgery, you know, and all those things, but I couldn't imagine how hard that is. And at no point did you ever stop, you know. And then I know a lot of people that when they had kids, they quit, you know, they're like, oh, and their kids become their reason for stopping whatever they're trying to accomplish. But, you know, that's one thing that me and you always connected on, is realizing, like, nah, this is a reason for us to go even harder, you know, because we want our daughters, and, you know, eventually we might have more kids, but our daughters to understand that, not only understand from our words, but from our actions of what going after your dreams looks like, you know. So, bro, I'm excited to watch you. You know, I'm taking that transition off the field now, but to be able to watch you play this next year, know I'll be there supporting you. I love you, brother. So
Love you too,
I appreciate you being on for real, man.
Talk, man.
You
We
know,
gotta rise in silence, brother.
You feel me?
I love it, man. Yeah, man. Let me give you your flowers, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to, as soon as I got here, it ain't been nothing but love. And like I said, man, you wasn't voted captain, but you was my captain. And I told everybody that. Like, the way you lead, and you don't do it, you know, in front of people. You do it behind closed doors. You do it when nobody's looking. So, like, those kind of people like that, it's like, you can't buy that. You know what I'm saying? And you've been genuine to everybody I know, and you've been genuine to my daughter. So, you know, it ain't nothing but love over here, bruh. I know you're going to continue to do big things, dog.
Most definitely, bro. And
sure.
You know, a couple years, we definitely going to have to get you back on, man, for sure.
For
you know,
sure,
get a recap on CJ life, you know, life update. So
Run it back,
for
man.
sure. But I appreciate it, bro. You know, it's going to be special for sure.
Already, man.
All right, with that, we going to conclude.